I mean, I never kind of like thought of this movie as like any way sort of like related to the Mad Max world other than that. But I do enjoy that we have two of the brides,
Yeah.
especially one of them who's Abby Lee, who's just a crazy snake riding lady. And I really,
Yeah. Just
I really
and
enjoy her in
and
this. Her and Yaya Deng. I think they're
right.
both great snake ladies.
Those are very kind of very weird, very limited performances, but are effective, I think, I guess. I don't know. But I think that
Yep.
Abby Lee, especially, I mean, her face is so striking. She just has these big eyes and these strong cheekbones.
Yep.
And, that's kind of obviously kind of the whole point of Immortan Joe's Brides is that they all look like fucking supermodels. But
Yep.
she is so her face is so striking that to kind of put her on top of a giant cobra, you're like, oh my God, she's like a little cobra. And that's
Yep.
a giant cobra.
Yep. And I love both of them. They only have like 3 or 4 lines, but I really do. I remember Yaya Deng's line of just like, pretty girl, you do not belong in battle. Like, I think they really just get as much ham out of those lines as they can. And I think both those women are putting in like really fun supervillain performances that feel like it's straight out of a God of War scene. Like it feels like it's right out of that video game.
That's probably the best argument that you could have given me on those.
I love the snake monsters. I really also love the silver armored like gods in their like superhero forms fighting each other. I love all of that.
I feel like that vibe, which I know I was kind of complimenting Steppenwolf because of all of the movily pixels all over his body in the Snyder Cut.
Right.
But I also think that kind of just like, oh, it's 11 feet tall and it's made of plate metal is a thing that I've seen a lot recently.
Fair enough. But I want those action figures. I like whenever I watch this movie, I'm bummed this movie was a failure because I never got to get Gods of Egypt action figures.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that those like ultimately
fair enough.
Pretty dumb. I think, yeah, I guess a lot of that stuff, I think of the dumb villain from the first Thor movie and
right.
Oh, there's got to be others. Of just like big plate metal boys.
No, you're right. It's definitely something that's been used before, but I don't know. There's just, they fit in this sort of like shimmery, because like Egypt to me in this movie is like modern day Vegas. Like it just looks like casinos and like shimmery buildings. Other than, of course, in kind of the more, impoverished areas of Egypt that are presented, like, it really just has this shiny, glistened look to it. And I feel like the gods being in those suits of armor, all of it, like, feels... And it's really a compliment that I'm giving to Alex Proyas. I really feel like the visual effects in this movie, they're not always, what's the uncanny valley? That's the phrase where it's like... There are elements to the visual effects in this movie where it doesn't feel real to me, but the style is so consistent. Like I also enjoy the visual effect of Jeffrey Rush becoming like an even taller, like flaming god, and I love one of my favorite just images from this movie is the flat earth and the giant chain just like pulling the sun around the flat earth. Like that stuff is so tangible and like fun, and I think the fantasy in this movie is awesome. I love the fantasy effects.
I think that stretch with Jeffrey Rush kind of rocks and rolls in a way that I am much more accepting of the movie.